Camera's live. Audio is active and going. Say something from over there.
Hello, Discount Bourbon Reviews.
Should just 5 minutes.
I'm sure.
Oh, I think we're good to go then. 30 seconds in. Which one we're gonna start with? I guess I should get the jigger.
Probably. Whoa. Gotta be careful with that, my man.
What else we have to do?
Oh, yeah. Sick, dude.
That would be nice and pretty.
Pretty. I think we should save the old smoke for last, just because he's the proofiest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm all about that. I mean, where's he sitting at? He's
120.
120. Woo! 91. 107. 95. I mean, we got a small ramp up here.
I feel like that's a good little.
That's a pretty good ramp up, yeah.
So what does that mean? Starting at the 91, Old Pogue.
The old Pogue. So let's pony up for the old Pogue. You want to try to do like a short TikTok?
Like a short, like a TikTok. I don't know what your means.
They're ounces exactly. So 2.5 ounces. But I guess we should go ahead and have them poured up.
Well, damn, little homie. It's not strong enough.
Don't want to underfill you, buddy. There's even a happy to enjoy.
I feel like this might be a good little happy to save onto for that blending idea. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You know, I feel like that'd be fun.
All right, let's listen to
I feel like little small ones like that. Okay.
Sorry, guys. Just one audio thing for the overall channel. I guess we should be fine. You ready?
Discount Bourbon Review.
All right, guys, we're here this week with a real cool lineup. We have an advent calendar. We have 3 whiskeys we're going to sample for you today. The first of which is going to be this Old Pogue Masters Select. Now, what do you know about this Old Pogue, Bill?
So I know Old Pogue is distilled and, you know, aged, bottled, all that good stuff out of Maysville, Kentucky right now. The original home to Bourbon County when that was going on. Old Bourbon, as some people like to call him. It's been shut down, the Old Pogue Distillery, a couple of different times. I think 2 or 3 times he's been shut down and sold, the property sold off to different
So
people.
who's doing it now?
Right now, it is the original Pogue family.
So they ended up working their way back to it.
They did, back in 2005. I don't remember who it was, but someone sold the old property, distillery, everything back to them back in 05. Of course, they didn't have anything going, so for a while they were doing some contract distilled stuff. But this 2021 is supposed to be their first new juice.
Really?
Re-going with
So
the
this is their first distilled, aged, and produced back in one house.
Yep.
You know, we do like that. We prefer that.
Yep.
There are some other places that are taken from other blenders.
Yep.
And
But to see the original family come back to it and want to bring some legacy
man,
back to the
you
name.
love it. You love the
I
story
mean,
behind it.
I think it was, what was it? I think it was Kentucky Distillery License number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3 originally was the Old Pogue.
Wow.
Back in the 1800s, whenever that was.
Well, here's to them. I'm getting a lot of grain here on the nose. I'm getting a lot of those very light, kind of corny smells.
I'd say
Very-
very soft on it.
Yeah,
It's
he's
almost
soft.
subtle.
He's not too aggressive by any means. I mean, he's a 91 proof. There's a little smoke. Little smoke behind him.
I'm getting a little bit of that grain that you were mentioning, but I'm just not really getting a whole lot off them, just smell alone.
Real sweet.
Real deep down in there, I could some of those red fruits. Just a little.
Yeah. No, after having that sip, I definitely agree. There's a huge expression of stone fruit, probably apricot. No spiciness.
Ooh, I get brown sugar very strongly on the palate on him.
Yeah.
Ooh, especially towards that rear end. That finish is very strong on that brown sugar.
The mid palate has a little note. It's a little funny for me, but of
It
course,
is.
that's the shortest of all the phases.
Yeah. That brown sugar really, I mean, he hits you up front and he kind of finished off there, so I got real distracted with him. But I did the middle was a little funky, a little bit.
He starts real sweet and watery on your tongue, but then he just kind of hits a little, almost astringent kind of floral note, and then he kind of finishes off into a really good sweetness of that brown sugar.
I feel like floral's a really good note.
But maybe some different kind of flowers.
He does kind of smell a little bit like a baker, and you can really smell those flowers, those wheats.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's got a great nose to him. I don't know what the price point is on something like this.
This one I do know.
You do know the
I
price
do
point.
know the price point on this. An MSRP, of course, not this. A 750 milliliter bottle, $110.
$110
Yes.
for the 750 mil.
Yeah.
This is definitely fancy pants territory.
Yeah, absolutely.
I paid $5 for the ounce, an ounce and a half. We still got a little bit extra.
Yeah.
So
No,
cheers to that. This came from a place called Wine and Market in Kentucky. I believe we were over in Georgetown, Kentucky. They had some really cool. No, we were a little closer to Lexington. Excuse me. And they had some awesome bourbon selection. They had some awesome wine selection, and they had a little market out there. They had a little charcuterie place, and they had this bourbon advent calendar that you can pick up if you're over in Kentucky. And we got to rifle through what was left over there, and this is what we came back with. A couple cool things for you guys to try. So big thanks to Wine and Market over there in Lexington. Please excuse me, Lexington.
Toss this one. This is for you.
Ooh, thanks. Ooh, a little wipey.
That last little sip that I got there, he was a little grainy. I was not a fan of him.
He still tastes young, to be honest.
He does.
With you saying that this is their first expression from coming back,
Yeah.
I can believe it.
It is a 9-year. I mean, that's kind of the old Pogue, from my understanding. They're kind of their deal with them. One more time. What?
Give another paper towel.
Oh, good. But so, I mean, even when they were doing the contract distilling, they were making sure that they were doing at least 9-year-old whiskey with it, and so that's
So you're still saying that this is a 9-year-old product, even though it's their first batch?
because they've been working on it since 2008.
Man, I want to know where it's at in the brick house. If it's high up like that, because it's kind of got some more aggressive qualities.
See, kind of a little bit, but
I'm shocked that it's a $110 whiskey. I'd probably put down a $30 or $40 bottle.
I don't know about that. He's definitely not my palate. He definitely has some harsher notes to him, but comparing him to something like, let's see, what do we have that's actually, it's not 30. The Quality House right here is 15, and I have a much harder time getting him down compared to
You're right.
Pogue.
I guess you're right. I could probably see him in a $40 or $50 category. He's starting to take on a little bit of price, but I just don't know if he's worth it at that $100 category.
I feel like maybe just a little bit more proof on him. It might be fantastic. If
All
we're being
in all,
honest.
With my nose, the price, and the taste in mind, I'm going to give him a signed score of 6. And I'm going to say, keep an eye out for their future expressions. If you're going to drink it, probably drink it neat.
I'm going to stick with that 6. Maybe a 6.5, if I'm being generous in the overall. He's nothing crazy to write home about, but the history behind him, just that alone, I mean, not for $110.
I'm excited.
Sure, but
I don't
for
want him to go
history
under
alone,
again.
I would want a bottle.
I don't want him to go under again for the 4th time.
No,
No.
that would be sad.
That
That
would
would
be
be
very
very,
sad.
very sad.
So I really hope they make some good stuff coming up.
Oh, yeah. But,
All right.
Oh, Master Select, right?
Master Select, 91 proof. Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
All right. Well, that's the end of that first video. Looks like we had a couple viewers come join us during that time. Let's go ahead and end that recording. That recording's done. Stop the audio recording. That's done. Export that as a WAV. And we just did the old Pogue Wine and Market.
What'd you do with the jigger?
Oh, It's up there on the shelf, my man.
Oh, there it is. I saw the Stranahan's one, and I was looking around for this one. I was like, where is it?
All right, that's all good to go. We're recording again. Audio's recording again. All right. And just for anybody that's never been in one of our streams, this is actually our weekly filming that we do for all of our videos over on our YouTube channel, Discount Bourbon Reviews. What we do is we take our 3 or 4 pours that we find and we sample them out here. We just kind of shoot the breeze with you guys a little bit, chat some of the stories, some of the community and culture we had with bourbon this week. Just so you guys can have a good time.
Yeah.
We generally do these on Saturdays, though, but we have a little bit of some scheduling conflict, so you guys caught us at an extra special time to be pouring up today. Let's see, Dylan's got us poured up on this Benchmark single barrel. Now, I know a little bit about this Benchmark single barrel, but I guess we should go ahead and launch into the whole
Actual
intro. Are you ready?
3, 2, 1.
Discount Bourbon Reviews. Hey guys, we're here today with the Benchmark single barrel that I got here from the Wine and Market. If you're joining us on the live stream over on Twitch, you're going to be able to see this entire Wine and Market lineup that we've done today. But right now we're on the Benchmark single barrel expression. Now, Benchmark is a product from Buffalo Trace.
I did not know.
On their mash bill number 2. Same thing as Blanton's and E.H. Taylor right here behind me. This is the lowest budget offering of that line, is what they like to say. They like to use fun words like that. But his characteristics are going to be that he's young and he's going to come from a very high up place in the warehouse. He's going to age very rapidly. But it's going to be a single barrel. We're suckers for single barrel here. They're generally overall a higher quality than just a initial sip.
I am a sucker for a single barrel. I'll tell you what, he gives off some very strong caramel notes.
Does he really?
He kind of does.
Well, that comes with some of the Buffalo Trace line itself. Call us a tater if you will, but they do have an overall flavor profile that they kind of stick with. And a lot of that is really extracting a lot of that caramel from that white oak.
I mean, this one's sitting at a 95 proof.
I'm even getting a light little note of cherry or almost raspberry in a way. It's not very aggressive with the ethanol either.
I like cherry.
Especially for having stepped up. We're at a 95 proof now, where we were at a 91 on the first video of this series.
Yep. I get cherry. I get a lot of caramel sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get in there and tell me what you think, because I'm kind of getting a dark note. I'm saying raspberry, but I'm almost wanting to say plum in a way too.
He's almost kind of thick on the tongue. He coats very well, especially compared to some of the other things that we had. He just kind of, he wants to linger.
Remarkable for a 95 proof, how it's kind of got that oily forwardness.
Yeah.
Usually we don't see that until you're up in like the 100, 107, 110
Yeah, so
category.
I mean, being kind of a little thick like that, I really like that for 95 proof. There's
a little something behind it though. Something's causing it to be thick, and I almost want to think a little corny oiliness in a way. There's definitely a grain expression that comes with it.
I definitely get a good corn expression on
him.
Maybe a little bit more time longer in that barrel to really soak in some of those other flavors, because he is very corn
forward. Put it in the barrel a little bit longer, change up its location in the warehouse, you're buying a different product. So we got to hold that one a little outside of constant. It's not like it's their... It's not even like it's the base offering in the Benchmark lineup. I think there's the Benchmark 8, there's a Benchmark Full Proof, we got single barrel here in front of us.
Yep.
There's a good couple of Benchmark products, but this is our first introduction to it.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I'm fairly impressed. I mean, Benchmark, you usually see that Benchmark 8, you usually see online being, everyone's like, oh, for less than $10, pick this whiskey up. You know what I mean?
Well, up here in Oklahoma, that's not as much of an option as you'd like.
It's not, but you see that and you're like, okay, well, why is that one so special? And for a price point like this, I didn't catch a price point on this one. Did you happen to catch a price point?
It's the lowest offering of their expression. I would be shocked if you got past $30 on a Benchmark. Okay. Maybe a single barrel starting to push up into 40. And we can bust the phone out and take a look right now, but I'm thinking overall it's going to be in that price category. Yeah.
Overall, keeping price in mind, I'm keeping him at it.
Price, taste, availability, and nose all factor into our score.
5 for availability.
5 just because of availability reasons.
I mean, just keeping him included with everything else, availability, at least for us, I don't see benchmark in our area almost really ever. And so that one's definitely going to bring it down for me a little bit.
No, I got to agree.
Price, like you said, if it's, single barrel, if it's pushing that $30-$40 mark, that's a good price. And that's hard to beat. The flavors are kind of lost on me. I get still a lot of that corn. He's an easy sipper, you know what I mean? He's not harsh in any way, but I think he'd stick at just an average, just that solid 5 for me.
I agree. I'll give him some good marks. I like single barrel. He's got some great expressions in there, and I can tell we're just maybe a better barrel of the benchmark would really hit, and I'd be singing. But there's just something about that oil expression. He's not where he should be. I almost wondered what it would have tasted like at the higher proof, the cask strength coming out. I think that it may be a product that had to have been diluted to maybe the state.
Maybe we're just leveling up a little bit. When we started this little journey of ours, we were 90 proof boys. But
that's right. I love my Weller Green.
We are definitely, at least in these past 2, looking a little bit more towards the high proof these past couple of days.
Yeah. We've been hanging out the last couple days. I've been doing some hunting around when I was in Kentucky looking for a couple bottles. We stumbled across some real cool stuff out at that Bourbon on the Banks festival. I want to give a huge shout out to one of our viewers, Mr. Joel McCrary. He was able to hook us up with some tickets to that Bourbon on the Banks festival. Took my beautiful girlfriend out there, and we had just a wonderful time. I was able to try some beautiful expressions of whiskey, meet some incredible people. A big shout out to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and it's Bourbon Night. Met both you guys out there. Wonderful time. But while we were out there, we were hunting down some particularly high proof cask strength stuff, looking for Booker's for Dad, Little Book again, trying to find that Elijah Craig barrel proof C923. Sounds like a Rick and Morty episode.
It does. Which you guys did eventually get your hands on.
Yeah, no, all 3 of them. And then we were supposed to be filming the day before this, but we got to sampling over on Bobby's collection. Bobby is another viewer of ours. He actually donated this Old Elk double wheated to the channel, so be sure to look forward to that review.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But no, either way, still very good. Just really easy sipper.
No, I would pick up a bottle of Benchmark if it were more available. If it were just here at, well, I'd say at Sam's Club or something like that, because that's where I've always seen them, in other states. But here, it just had to be at a random liquor store. Yeah, I'd probably pick one up, but...
I'd pick one up. I think he'd be a real good mixer.
I'm not busting down the door, though. When I see these things come into the state, they're usually in lottery drops. Of course, they go in the last couple rounds, but, I'm not busting down a door to get a bottle of Benchmark.
Lord knows you bust down some doors for some of these other bottles.
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
All right. How long was that one? 7 minutes. 7.5. All right. Let's export that one. Benchmark. How do you feel about launching all the wine and markets in a single video?
What do you mean?
Just doing all 3 wine and markets. I guess
if we just kind of bunch them up back to back like that in one video?
Yeah.
We'll do that. Especially with as many other bottles that we have to go through and taste. I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, not at all. Who's this one? We're on the Pinhook 6 year. That's so exciting. We're fans of Pinhook here at Discount Bourbon Review. Had some of this. We got the Pinhook Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, their 2023 release, high proof. Comes in at 117 proof. They call it Mr. Bourbon Resolve. All their products are actually named after horses. The whole idea with Pinhook is that you buy a horse when it's young. You buy it like a colt, and then you rear it, you raise it, and you hope that it gets better, gets some pedigree, gets some name to it, and then you sell it off, hopefully to profit. Well, it's not too hard to see how he's taking the same step with bourbon. He's buying barrels, blending them up, aging them up, letting them get to a better state, sell them off. But, we should get into the review.
Discount Bourbon Review!
And then I can go ahead and start telling him the amazing story about the Pinhook that we have here today. We've done some other Pinhook videos. So we'll keep it light on the origin story for the full review today. But there's a gentleman, he buys horses, ages them up, hopes that they get better. That's called pinhooking. He's doing the same thing with barrels. He's buying barrels, aging them up, hoping they get better. We have had the Bourbon Resolve Expression, their 2023 high proof, but here in the Wine and Market lineup that we're doing today, we're able to get our hands on the 6-year, 107 proof War Resolve. Or the War Series. They're doing a War Series. They started 6 years ago from 2021, so 2015, pardon the fast math. They'll finish it in 2027. And each year, he gains another year of age as well. So last year, for 2019, 2020, they released the 5-year. Here in 2023, this year, they should be releasing that 8-year.
Yeah.
By the time we get to 2027, they're releasing their 12-year.
Super excited about that.
I know, super exciting story.
But we've got the 6-year in front of us right now.
Wow. He's got some almost maple syrup notes right up front.
I definitely get a sweetness. I'm not getting a whole lot of maple.
You really? You're not in the maple territory? Because I think it's different than that like young caramel that you'll smell in some other products, especially that benchmark we just did.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I get sweetness, I get floral. I wouldn't say grassy, but
I'd say it's very sweet and a little less on the floral side. Someone described Weather Green to me as having honeysuckle flavors the other day. And you know, now that I'm thinking about the word honeysuckle, I'm smelling things like this. It doesn't quite hit that same floral note for me. It's all in more developed sugars. But it's really more about how it sits, huh?
she sips real nice. I'll tell you what, brother. For 107 proof, I know that we've been going up here in the line, but he's real light. He doesn't stick around for very long. There's almost no
interaction on mid palate.
No.
Really. It kind of just goes right from tip of your tongue to the back of your throat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really bloom up in your chest like some of these higher proof whiskeys can. Of course, if you're just getting started in your journey, sometimes even 80 proof whiskeys can do that. So you have to check our video on how to taste whiskeys and how to start working way up in proof if that's something you even want to do.
He's very interesting. I get a lot more spices on the palate than I do in the nose. A little bit of black pepper, anise, things like that.
Now that I've had that first sip and I've kind of been re-exposed to him, I gotta agree, I'm starting to get a lot of those characteristics as well.
The nose does open up a little bit.
Yeah, the nose has opened up a little now that I've kind of sampled him, and it's changing the flavors. I'm getting a lot less of that maple syrup than I originally thought.
I was kind of hoping he'd open up to it for me because that sounds really interesting in a whiskey smell. I kind of want that.
It's got me looking after that Widow Jane Decadence. I know.
I just need to get my hands on a bottle of Widow Jane. We just need to try it.
That'd be great.
It would be great.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic.
Well, we're broke discount bourbon boys.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I really like him.
Yeah.
He's an easy sipper for sure. I don't think I'd be mixing him with anything. I just want to sit down and enjoy him. He's typically not on my side of the palate. I mean, we always talk, we like things just a little bit sweeter, and he's just a little bit spicier. You know what I mean? But he's still very good. I could see myself coming back to him.
Yeah, really sweet at the front of palate. He kind of almost skips over mid palate in a wash. And then he kind of goes straight to that back of palate with a good little bit of spiciness, a little bit of heat, a little dragon breath in a way, but nothing too crazy. It's a good expression. Man, I would just be overjoyed to try the vertical lineup when they finish the 1 year through the 12 year.
Oh, yeah,
I think it would be incredible to see how the horse runs its race.
Yeah. No, I think that would be
But
absolutely amazing.
as far as price in mind, we don't have a specific price on this bottle. Of course, we were able to pick up these 3 nips from a wonderful person in the community at Wine and Market down in Lexington. They have an advent calendar, so if you are in Kentucky, go ahead and check that out. But I purchased this pinhook. I believe I ended up spending about 50, 60 range, somewhere in there. The exact price escapes me. But knowing that this is part of that war run that they're doing, it's probably going to be a little bit more.
Probably, I would say, just guessing, not pulling anything up and looking at it. I mean, 50, 60 on him, I'd have to imagine 80, 90 on the vertical 6 year easy.
Yeah.
if you're lucky enough to find it in store. Of course, that's just a guess.
Of course, this was 2 years ago. These things were a
Yeah.
package for their advent calendar, so we got some especially interesting things for
Yeah.
you guys.
Very happy to get our hands on that.
Yeah.
Overall, price and availability in mind, I'm gonna stick him at a 7. He's very good. I really liked that nose. I really liked the palate, so he brings that up there for me. But availability, I don't think I'm gonna find a bottle of him.
No, you're just not
Just
finding
not
a
gonna.
bottle. So I mean, it's gonna tank the price a little bit,
Yeah.
or it's gonna tank the waiting a little bit for that.
But it's still absolutely amazing. I mean, just flavor and palate alone, I mean, that's a 9 or 10 for me. But when you bring in the other things, price, availability, it's going to bring it down for me a little bit. But if you can find that, scoop that. That's
Yeah.
easy.
Honestly, I've been really starting to enjoy some of the pinhook expressions, which are MGP.
Well, they're a little bit more than just MGP, though. I mean, it is a lot of MGP, but they don't, at least in my understanding of pinhook and how they go about it, they just don't distill their own stuff at all. They're just blenders.
That's what I'm saying. They are just blenders. You're breaking my heart a little bit, breaking my distilled, produced, aged,
But
all in one place heart.
but it's
But
It's
pinhook's
good
good.
stuff.
It is good. And if you're in that hard die camp saying that I only want distilled, aged, produced, one place whiskeys,
Try this.
Try
Give this a try.
try the high proof too.
Oh yeah, this stuff's fantastic.
Yeah,
I love.
I put the high proof on a higher ranking than this vertical 6-year though.
Yeah, I probably would too. And it's a little easier to get your hands on.
Pinhook, do you disagree with us? Do you agree with us? Do you think that we're just silly boys that need to sip more bourbon? Let us know
No.
your thoughts,
That's what I think. Silly boys that need to sip more bourbon.
but please drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
.806. Pretty good.
I like that pinhook. He's my favorite out of the 3. I was excited to try the benchmark just because we haven't, had any benchmark stuff. But pinhook is easily my favorite out of that. Without a doubt.
Who's to blame? Nobody's fault. There. Okay. Yeah. And we're live again over here. Discount Bourbon Review! It may just be a little quiet for some people.
Let me see here.
Yeah, because again, big shout out to Bobby, member of the community, gave us this Old Elk double weeded for us to review. You'll have to check that video itself. I mean, depending on how we're feeling today, we might go ahead and get into it. But all of these live streams come out a week after we have filmed them. So if you want to see what we're filming or what we're producing the week that you're watching, you gotta tune into the live stream.
What?
I don't smell anything. It's just a wet cork.
You're a wet cork.
You're a wet cork. Maybe I'll wear
spicy.
I'll wear my hat for this one.
Ooh, the Weller hat.
That's right.
That's right. Fucking tater.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. I mean, maybe we'll get some sponsorship out of it or something. Who knows? Those who know better drink Weller. That's
what they say.
That's what they say.
Alright, you ready?
Discount Bourbon Review.
Today we're here with something that I'm very excited about. While my man Josh was out here in Kentucky on his little bourbon festival adventure he got to go on, I stuck around here locally and I tried to do what I could to find some of the coolest stuff I could get my hands on. And this is one of them. I'm very happy that I grabbed him up. A little bit of Smoke Wagon, uncut, unfiltered, straight out of the barrel. This one is batch number 189, bottled on August 24th of this year, 2023.
Where were you, Bill?
Where was I? August 24th, 2023. I think I was probably here drinking with you
We'll have to check the logs
We'll
on
have
that
to
one.
check the logs on that one.
But what you know about him?
I do know. I mean, he is a MGP distilled spirit, so they're not distilling, doing that in their own facility, but they are
Indiana.
barreling, aging, and bottling all in Nevada. And that's the part that got me excited, being from Nevada, being aged over there. I've never had anything from Nevada, and I want to know how those different expressions come out from it.
Well, now, Smoke Wagon, I'm going to address you specifically. You know what weirds me out? The idea of loading up a bunch of bourbon, loading up a bunch of grain on one of those big fuel-looking trucks, trucking it all the way down to Nevada, and then starting to age it and distill it. It weirds me out. It's sitting at truck stops next to cows, next to other truckers. Before we did this, we've done a lot of parking lot striping, and they are not clean places. They are not fun family places with friendly faces like some of them would like to advertise. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt here.
I still like them. I mean, you can tell already if you can see through it in the camera. I can't really tell too well, but I've been cracking into them, and I've been enjoying them a lot myself. So I'm very excited to see what Josh thinks of them. Off the nose alone,
Off the initial rip.
Yep. What you got off the initial rip of him?
He's called Smoke Wagon, but he's sweet.
He is sweet.
He's sweet. He's not smoky.
You know what I get off of him? Take a real good whiff, and I'll say it. Chocolate. Chocolate. Man, really got in there deep.
No.
Chocolate off of him.
No, there is a dark characteristic at the back of that smell, and its furthest distances where your nose wants to pick it up, and I can see how you could call it like burnt, like a coffee, like a chocolate. It's some sort of expression of just dark, roasty oils. You know what I mean? Maybe it's barrel char, but I don't know.
See, that's the thing. Smell, not really too much anything smoke-wise. You get a lot of that sweetness. I like to say chocolate. I think it smells dead on like chocolate. That palate, I get a lot more of that smoke, those leather tannins, and it kind of throws me through a loop, you know?
Very sweet in the beginning of palate. Mid palate does have a lot more of that smoke and oak. But as he finishes here, a lot of like licorice and anise. A very, I wouldn't say a super aggressive bloom, you know, for being what 120 point something, uncut, unfiltered. They're not taking away any of those oils or anything else. It's not got too aggressive of a bloom. I've definitely had cheaper, much more lower proof whiskeys that'll light your sternum up like nobody's business.
Yeah.
This thing's got some heat to it, but honestly, in the category of cask strengths, I think it's probably got less bloom than some others do.
I don't disagree with you. There's definitely some more calf strengths out there that will light a little bit more of a fire under your belly, but I'd say he's middle of the road when it comes to lighting that fire. There's definitely some that'll really light you up. There's definitely some that really won't. You know what I mean?
I'm getting a flatter grain expression now that I've kind of sipped it and dulled my senses to its flavors.
I get sweetness. I get chocolate. It's such an interesting development for me because it starts off as a really nice, sweet, almost milk chocolate. You know what I mean? Almost like you're shoving your nose in a bag of Hershey's chocolate. But as I let them,
there's just that like kind of almost buttery tannin that prevents me from wanting to say chocolate. You know what I mean? It's that corn. It's that corn ester.
I just don't get them. But that's the beautiful thing about it. I like them. I'm a big, big fan of them. And for
brilliant. For the price, how much you pay?
I paid $60 for him. He is a little bit higher up there for us. It's just outside of that discount bourbon reviews territory. But
So
to be
we're gonna
fair,
have to do a fancy pants dance.
to be fair, I think everything I bought this weekend does.
We're willing to do the fancy pants dance for you guys.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
We are official fancy pants boys. We spent too much on whiskey, and we apologize to the discount community that could not afford a bottle like this. But with all those things in mind, score rating, I'm going to give him a 7. I really liked it. Honestly, all in all, it's got some good esters and notes that you don't see in a lot of other whiskeys. I think I can start to bend a little bit more of those chocolate notes. Sweet product. I don't know if it's something I'm going to keep on my bar all the time, something I absolutely love to sip in, but when you go over to a friend's house and they're offering a pour, I think I'll say no.
I'm the friend, because I'm going to keep this one on my bar. I'm a very big fan of them. What we don't do a whole lot on the channel here is mix-ins with Dr. Pepper.
No.
And that's one that I've been testing a lot personally at home with a lot of the different bottles I've been coming home with. And to a lot of people's dismay, I poured some of this in there with the Dr. Pepper. It really brings out that chocolate, brother. You got to give it a shot. It's something.
But see, that's why we want to do these video reviews for you guys. There's a lot of great forums online, a lot of great places to go about tasting whiskey and getting into the community. And again, a big thanks to the community, because there's a couple bottles you'll see here in this video that were actually donated by some community members, or we were encouraged to go to a stop at a specific shop because of some community members. Yeah. But that's what you gotta love about it. Everyone's got a slightly different taste. Everyone's got a slightly different profile. And you can go over to your buddy's house and you can drink a little whiskey.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing, because he was out and about by doing him. I was out by myself doing my shopping. And when I'm out by myself doing shopping, I'm chatting people up, especially when I'm trying to find something interesting. I'm not talking to workers, because they typically got stuff that they're trying to push out and get out of the store, but I want to talk to the people around. I want to see what they're picking up. And I had 3 different people in store while I was walking around that day. Like, you need to grab this Smoke Wagon. It is phenomenal, and I'm so glad that I picked it up. Overall, he's going to sit at that 8.5 for me, maybe 9 on a really good day.
I don't know if he's turning my opinion of MGP around. Nevada is pretty far off Indiana.
We were talking about Bobby a little bit earlier when we were on some of these. Bobby brought up a very good point yesterday. Ooh, you sit still, please. But I don't. For as much as I don't want to see an MGP, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if it matters too much where it was distilled. The agent in Nevada brought out some very interesting.
I'll concede the point. It doesn't matter where it's distilled, aged, or produced. I think that you could do it in any state and make a good product. It's the fact that they're distilling it in one state, then trucking it across land to a whole other state. I mean, Coke don't even do that. They transport their syrup because it just makes less sense. So to transport hundreds of gallons, thousands of gallons of grain down there just to sit in a barrel in somewhere else, it's like, why? I mean, if MGP's got that production level, they could be a Buffalo Trace, they could be a Beam, but instead they're choosing to masquerade their product by offering it to other people. Have more confidence in your product, guys.
I'm not that deep with it. I think that they enable a lot of really cool companies to try and do something that they may not be able to do without it.
I agree. There's a big barrier to entrance in the overall whiskey market. It's not just as simple as I say, go forth to make whiskey.
And I'm not going to go out there and be like, I want that MGP bottle. You know what I mean? That Smoke Wagon. I really want that stuff. I'm not going to say that, but this past weekend I might be turning away a little bit from that's an MGP. I'm not going to pick.
I agree.
I think I want to pick them up and at least try.
I'll turn away from complete no MGP. That's
Big brothers. Let's go.
At the same time, I think their bottles are only ever just going to be good. I've never had a great bottle of MGP that I said I have to consistently get this. And even then, I'd be worried that product could be consistent. But
great bottle.
Couple points in the other direction. Good bottle.
Great bottle.
Good bottle.
Drink responsibly. Great bottle. I like his pretty bottle too. He's got a little pretty bottle. He ain't too flashy, but he's got some nice stuff.
Alright, let's go again.
I'm gonna go grab some more paper towel.
Okay, that's good. Chat with people for a little bit. We got a couple viewers. Say, hey, what's up? Yeah, so one of the members of our community, Mr. Joel McCrary, was very gracious. Gave us some tickets to an event called the Bourbon on the Banks, and they had 114 different vendors out there. Some incredible people. Some of which were just food merchants, some of which were entertainment people, some of which were the actual whiskey companies themselves. But Those whiskey companies had to have 3 pours available, many of which had more. There were some great national brands. There was Beam, there was Trace, yeah, at least those two. And then there were some great craft brands around, some wonderful stuff that I tried while I was there. The biggest thing that swept me away was the Peerless brand. I was able to try the whole Peerless lineup. I tried the Peerless Bourbon. I tried the Peerless Rye. I tried the Peerless Double Oaked Bourbon. I tried that Peerless Double Oaked Rye. I kept coming back to that in the festival. I thought it was particularly a good product. That Double Oak, I actually found one today in the secondary chats for about $100, and I was tapping my fingers. I was thinking about it. It sounded like a real good.
I know stores got it for $100. They got bottles of it.
It's a scoop.
They got bottles of it, Josh. They had a line of them.
How fast can I hit the door? I guess that's the question.
That's fair.
All right. Well, are we recording again on all ends?
I don't know. Are we?
No. No. Right, now we're recording over there again. Are you over on the chat or the stream?
No, I'm not. I've just been keeping an eye on it over here.
Crazy. Crazy. So we've had a couple people stop by, hang out with us.
Hell yeah, brother.
Look, it's been student smoke wagon on the other side. Looking back around.
Discount Bourbon Review!
Alright guys, we got an interesting video here today. For the first time in Discount Bourbon Review history, we have a fan-submitted bottle. Someone was kind enough to reach out, wanted us to try a specific product that they thought was going to be right up our alley, so they sent the bottle our way. Now, we did have an inaugural crack with them over a short little video call. But we have the bottle here that we're excited to share with you. We have this Old Elk Double Wheat Straight Whiskey coming in at 107.1 proof. It's 71% corn, 71% wheat, 25% corn, 3.5% barley. Aged 6 year, and then also aged 6, 7, and 8 year. It is a blend of their Old Elk Wheated and their Old Elk Wheat whiskey.
Double wheated. I love seeing all that information on the side of the bottle. Please advertise that.
Yeah,
show me what you got going on in the bottle. That's the kind of stuff that gets me excited and wants me to grab a bottle.
Every ounce of detail we can, man. If you can tell me the temperature and the pressure inside of that barrel, I'd be like, this is neat. Because it helps us just determine what kind of whiskeys are better as a community and start moving forward with making better whiskeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But, cheers to Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
A lot of caramel on the nose. It really extracts that white oak's sugar.
Yeah, he really does. I get a little bit of cinnamon on him as well.
Yeah, there's some baking spice in there for sure.
Yeah. Ooh, that one I came back to hit me with a good amount of that caramel, that brown sugar.
Now we just came off doing a 91, a 95, a 107, a 121. Now we're going back to this 107. So be sure to check out the live streams. They come out every Saturday, or catch the actual live stream on the Saturday. But diving in, what's your notes? I think he's real sweet, real soft. I would be surprised if he's going to have a big bite.
He's got just a little bit of a bite, nothing crazy. I wouldn't say big bite. I get that caramel note up front. Kind of more mid-palate, I would say, honestly, for that caramel note. But he's really strong in that mid-palate.
Yeah, he is. He kind of, that's where he peaks out.
He kind of
The beginning is very sweet and smooth introduction. It really peaks out into that mid-palate with some strong notes. And then he kind of just fades away into your throat. No real bloom. Although there's some 107 proofs I've had with a lot less bloom. You know what I mean? He's probably higher up on the bloom than I'd like to say.
A little
being
bit.
generous.
Just a little.
I'd say his bloom is a 6 or a 7. It's strong, but it's not overbearing by any means.
Ooh, on that second sip, I get some real sweet fruits. He finishes off with that cinnamon there. That's really good. He's so interesting.
Who is he?
Who is he?
What is his story?
What did they do to him?
Mastercraft 2022. So I'd be excited to see this 2023 double wheat.
Yeah, no, I absolutely
Yeah,
would be. That would
yeah.
be very interesting. He's got layers to him.
Layers to this stuff.
Each sip, each sniff, he brings me a little something different. And it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. No, it really brings that X factor for me.
Ooh. I got barbecue on that one.
Barbecue,
Yeah.
like sauce or like
smoke.
like what kind of barbecue?
Like you're smoking a real good brisket.
What kind of brisket? USDA prime? What kind of pellets? What kind of wood? Where is he taking you?
That's USDA prime for sure.
Oh, okay. Do you eat the part of the beef with the stamp? Do you ever eat that?
No, I don't think you're supposed to eat the stamp.
But you can. You can eat the stamp.
Can and should are separate.
Well, I mean, it's different. It's not like you can eat a crayon. It's like, it's okay to eat the blue stamp.
I think crayons are edible.
That's what I'm saying. You can eat a crayon.
You can eat the USDA prime.
No,
No,
you can eat it. You can eat it. You're fine. Yeah. Not like you can eat a crayon.
No, you can eat a crayon. I ate enough in my childhood.
Where are we even going with this?
He's very bright. He's light.
Super easy.
Yeah. No, he's very good. Do you know how much did Bobby tell you how much these typically are running in store?
No clue what they're typically running in store. He told me he got it at a discount to MSRP. I believe he paid $60 for it. We didn't pay a dime, so no fancy pants dance. Nothing to apologize for.
Nothing to apologize about on that one. I didn't spend nothing. I ain't doing the dance.
We didn't break no budgets.
No. Anyway.
Good friends.
But flavor, I mean, let's say if he got it discounted MSRP at 60, let's say 80, maybe 90 pushing it. You know what I mean? For a price like that, flavor and complexity like that, and availability, honestly, at least in our area recently, he's available. We can get our hands on
On
him.
this double wheat?
Easy. I'd go
Seeing
take
it around.
I'd go take you to a store right now. We can go get a bottle.
Crazy.
Yeah. And so those things in mind, I mean, he's going to go pretty high up on there. Flavor and nose, I love. I mean, those are nines, easy. And price and availability, I mean, price is only going to bring it down a little bit for me. I mean, he's sitting at an 8.5 for me. I want him on my bar. You know what I mean?
He's got me dancing.
Got
me doing a little
got
shimmy
a little
and a shake.
I thought
Yeah.
we weren't doing the fancy pants.
Not doing a fancy pants dance, more just shake.
Shake. You got me feeling it.
I'd love to try that Old Elk Wheated. I'd like to try that classic. As far as this, it's a really fantastic product. But comparing it to even the other wheat whiskey that we have here, the Bernheim wheat, I think that it's a far superior product.
Absolutely is. I mean, we all know I like a good weeder, but I was not the biggest fan of that Bernheim. And so to turn around from something like the Bernheim to this, that's really good.
And even then, that's something I discovered a little bit over this weekend. There are a couple wheat whiskeys available. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of a wheat whiskey specifically. I'm a fan of a wheated bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
trying to uncover that.
Still,
Maybe in the 4 grain.
this guy's fantastic. We need some more 4 grains.
4 grain would be sick.
We absolutely do. But this guy, absolutely fantastic. In my opinion, if you see him out and about, scoop him. Just have him on the bar. He's good.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
a lot of complexity. He's a good sipper. I haven't had the chance to mix with him just yet, but I'd mix with him. Easy.
I'd give him a mixed status. I'd try something out with him.
Yeah.
Maybe even like a specific bourbon forward drink, like a paper crane or a old fashioned.
Old fashioned, I think, would be really good with him, honestly. Yeah. Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. We're blazing through them now. We're only at 49 minutes on the entire stream. We're getting more efficient in our drinking.
49 minutes. Do you want to do one more then?
I mean, yeah, we can do that. We can.
Well, I mean, especially since you were talking about taking these guys down to one video. I mean, we're at 3 now. You know what I mean? So if we do one more, then we're at the 4 for the week.
We have to butt them all up right against each other and do a little bit of editing difference.
I mean, I'm sure there'd be some editing difference, but it'd just be splicing and cutting. I think that would be very hard.
The question is, are we just gonna launch all three of them at once on the same day, and just boom, 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 or
Well, you were talking about cutting them all together into one video.
we could.
That's separate.
I feel like we should just line them up a little better. That was our goal. Yeah. Yeah. We'll fix it in post. Says the man isn't the one fixing it in post. Well, I mean, we got that live stream running.
Yeah.
We got some other stuff. What else do we?
You want to go for it?
What? That's what it sounds like. That's what you want to go for.
You want to go for it?
Let's go for it. Sure. Let's do some E.H. Taylor. Come on.
E.H. Taylor. E.H. Taylor. Let's throw the smoke wagon back here, actually. I'll go to the old dog. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah. See, it'll be real nice if we can get to the point where we can just record this stuff like all in one go on a nice camera and then start getting in there and segmenting and figuring out the differences. If anyone's got like a nice Sony A7 or something like that, they want to donate, let me know. Colonel E.H. Taylor.
That's good shit right there. So, no, it wasn't shit. I'm so sorry.
Lap it off the table. Ew, don't what?
Yeah, not this table.
It's the discount bourbon table.
Yeah, this was a lot more than the discount bourbon table at one point or another.
My shop table. But we did clean it today with alcohol. Not this alcohol, different alcohol.
No, there's this alcohol.
Yeah, just use some E.H. Taylor and rubbed it down on the table.
It's 100 proof.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'll get you going. It'll get you going for sure.
I think after we eventually do that blending video and we empty these guys, like that'd be a really good one. We'll go up to Bobby and be like, pour.
That's what I'm saying. I think we need to get a little small thing of those.
Yeah.
I was even thinking, what if you had like a liquor store that specialized in like getting like a bottle of like Fulton or something, and they broke them down into 15, 16 nips like that, and then just sold the nips. Why not?
Why not?
Why? I guess is a better question. You're gonna sell the whole bottle.
I feel like you'll get some more attention from people and they're like, oh, dude, they don't got the bottle, but you can go get a nip real quick. Brings people in, they start looking at some other stuff, maybe they pick up another bottle and a nip, you know what I mean?
Maybe at some point we should just do like a whole intro video. Have it like the old YouTube style with like really loud EDM music, like cut in slides, like No?
That's not it.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to the drawing board on that one. But discount bourbon review. All right, guys, we're here in Taterland today. We got a bottle of E.H. Taylor hand delivered from the Buffalo Trace Distillery. I mean, I lugged it back down. I was up there last weekend, met some incredible people out at the Bourbon in the Banks Festival. They were having out there. Big shout out to It's Bourbon Night. Big shout out to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Y'all are wonderful. And a big shout out to all those vendors that I had to come back to a second time for. But E.H. Taylor small batch, for me, this is the completion of the Buffalo Trace basic lineup. You know, with this one, I would have finally had a sip of everything.
I think that means what haven't
We haven't done an official video on the Eagle Rare, but we have a
we've
fan in our
tried it.
community that has some. that
We've
we're
tried
gonna
it. So we've
reach
gone
out to.
through the lineup a little bit.
Yeah, we've gone.
We just got to get them to give us a little nip of it so we can come film it.
That's right.
Yes.
If you're watching the live stream that came out this week, you'll notice these nips we have over here. They're from Wine and Market in Kentucky. When I went down there as well, they have an awesome advent calendar if you find yourself living there, where you get some real cool rare whiskeys delivered to your door.
Yeah.
But other than that, we got this E.H. Taylor to dive into.
The E.H. Taylor.
The E.H. Taylor.
Small batch.
Small
Bottle
batch.
in bond. I mean,
Yeah.
this is, some people look very hard for this. Some people have an easier time, but some people look very, very hard for a bottle of this.
E.H. Taylor bought that distillery down there in Frankfort, Kentucky.
Yep.
What was Leestown, I believe, at the time. And really made a grand building on the site. He was really one of the first people that they started making whiskey at a higher quality, making it a better quality, trying to clean up the process and trying to bring some luxury to it. Don't misquote me. I believe all of that stuff still comes out of that one specific warehouse.
I do believe that's true.
I do believe that's true, and that's where they get the specific other products as well, be it the 4-grain, be it the single barrel, be it the rye, be it anything else that they've ever done. The Tornado surviving seat, I do believe all of them come out of there.
Yeah.
But this is a small batch. This is a blend. Some of the other hooches.
Yep.
This is the base offering.
He smells so good.
He's Buffalo Trace.
He is. He's got those sweet caramel vibes from, especially being that same mash bill, the Blantons, that benchmark that we were talking about earlier. You can find them real easy in there.
You know what I almost smell in there a little bit? Walnut.
No.
No?
No.
Why no?
Just no. I don't get walnut in there. I'm not the biggest walnut person, so maybe I just need to have more walnuts in my life.
Yeah. I think that's it.
All right, we'll go with that.
Yeah, just start having some more walnuts and then it'll be good.
I'll go eat a handful of walnuts and then I'll come back and I'll smell his bottle.
Next episode, Dylan discovers he has walnut poisoning.
Allergic to nuts.
Great nose on him. Fantastic. Keeps me wanting to come back. There's a little bit of an X quality. That vanilla and that caramel really come together to make a beautiful expression. It's not super woody. Super oaky.
Dance though. That
Does
palate
it?
is
That makes me wanna-
good. Ooh, he's fantastic. I don't get a whole lot of that wood or oak on the nose, really at all. Not really any ethanol, really, either.
No, super easy.
Yeah, he's very good. I'm really trying to figure that nose out, though.
That's what I love. A good whiskey with an X quality in the nose.
Yeah.
Where you can't quite determine what that smell is on that next level.
Yeah.
And it just keeps you coming back for more. That's what a good whiskey is.
Figure it out. It's buttery. It's caramely. It's just a little bit floral.
I'm of the opinion you can smell a good whiskey. You know what I mean? You'll know a good whiskey when you smell it, but you really know what you're going to taste it.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fantastic on the nose. I mean, nose for me, that's a 9.5 easy.
I mean, for 100, he really punches above his weight.
Oh, absolutely.
There's some other 100s out here that have just been absolute trash. I mean, because he's a bottled in bond, 100 proof, the exact same way that
We're both looking.
I know we're both looking for him. I don't even think he's on this
Here's
shelf.
a bottle of
anymore.
bond.
That's a bottled in bond 7 years.
Which one are you looking for?
I'm looking for the Evan Williams.
Oh, the
I
Evan
think he's
Williams?
I think he's long gone.
Did we actually finish the Evan Williams?
Yeah, I think we booted him from the overall hierarchy because I'm not seeing him anymore. But we had an Evan Williams bottled in bond 100 proof, and just to think about those 200 proofs back to back, bottled in
Oh
bond.
god, that's just two completely different leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone here, but especially us right here, right now, if I was given the choice, this guy over Evan Williams bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Any day of the week.
Easy. And if you could get it at that $40, $50 availability,
Oh,
you
without
could just walk into the
flesh.
store. Yeah, I'd be keeping one on the shelf, and
Oh,
anytime
I'd
we
be
got about halfway down, I'd pick up another one.
I'd have at least two. The second I finish one, go find the other right then. 'Cause that's good. I like him.
See, the problem is you're not the only person doing that.
I know. That's why we can't. And it's a problem. Stop drinking all my favorite whiskeys.
That's right. Go pick a different brand.
Go find something else. Go drink your Maker's Mark.
I know we're
Your
young, and
Beam.
we just started this in the last couple of years, but that's our brand now.
Yeah.
That's our turf.
We called it.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, Josh.
Sorry.
Yeah, can't be that
Sorry.
aggressive on YouTube. Oh, he's bright. He's light.
Yeah.
He doesn't
He's
want to stick around.
Not offensive, and I think that you brought him to a party. Whiskey drinker is going to be like, oh,
Nice.
But I think that anyone that just reaches out and sips it is going to be finding it approachable.
Absolutely. The only thing, especially with where we are, that brings it down a couple of points for me is the availability.
Yeah, I honestly haven't seen a bottle in the wild. I haven't seen one at a lottery drop. I specifically had to go to Kentucky, pony up in line, wait an hour.
In
To be
the
able to
Buffalo
get-
Trace Distillery.
Yeah, to be able to get this.
I mean, we've been able to get Blanton's out in the wild, that 107 out in the wild. I mean, there's
Right.
we've been able to get our hands on some Buffalo Trace stuff. It's pretty interesting.
Some alternate stuff. Yeah, we've got some store barrel select products.
Yeah.
We're big fans of the Buffalo Trace line.
And it's a little surprising to me that, I mean, we had to go through the work that I can't say we did, that Josh did, to go get his hands on these bottles.
It's a royal we. But I think that's just some of the heart. I think that Buffalo Trace and old-fashioned copper is what it says on the back here.
Yep.
He's just producing some good discount bourbons.
It is.
You know what I mean?
For that $40, $50, I mean,
You can't.
if I could find it for $40, $50, he might stick on my shelf a little bit heavier than the Weller up there.
I mean, you're still talking $2, $3 a pour. Let alone you start doing bar math, where you need to triple that to at least make their money back. You're starting to still look at like an $8, $9 well type shot.
Yeah.
So for the well type shot, dude, come on.
I mean, it's just fantastic. Overall, he's going to sit at that 8 for me. The availability is the only thing that brings it down. Other than that, he'd be sitting at a solid 9.5. But overall, he's sitting at an 8. If I see him, I'm absolutely grabbing him.
If I see any of his alternative expressions.
Oh, I'm grabbing him. I'm grabbing him. I want to know. Especially since we have him now. I just want to, compare him. But, I mean, it's just an easy grab. If you see him, grab it. Don't be afraid to be a tater. That's a good bottle to have on your bar. Please drink responsibly.
All right. Ouch.
Ouchies.
Ouchie mamas. We got 5 there. Gotta stop the sound recording.
Oh, yeah. It'll still notice.
What is wow? And we just did the EA Taylor. Perfect. Everything's back up online. I don't have the camera up there in the stand, but I mean, we can keep chat with Pete. We can start recording some Tiki Talks. We can step out. What you need to do?
I'm gonna snack on some pretzels.
Gonna snack on some pretzels. You want me to end the stream or?
I feel like if we're gonna do some real filming, like after this, it's gonna primarily be TikToks. So
Yeah.
not too much of a reason for the stream to be up for it. You know what I mean? Because the TikToks are gonna be a little bit more personal and different angles and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm good with that. I'm good. Go ahead and call that then.
Bye guys.
Bye guys. Thanks for tuning in.
It was fun.